What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast No Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Don't Nod. There was some pretty big news yesterday, kind of flew under the radar. I think Don't Nod's a smaller company, and you have a very big news week. You have a very big news month, over the last little while. So I feel like this thing just didn't get seen by many people, which is ironic because the news itself is that Banishers and Jasants were not doing well, and some stuff on Don't Nod's future games. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. So it was a financial report. They broke down some money situations, and honestly, things are not good. And this is a company that I have talked quite a bit about, played pretty much all of their games to various likes and dislikes. Overall, I really can appreciate this company, appreciate what they do, but seems like they're in a little bit of trouble. So in terms of like the headlining news, both Jasant and Banishers Ghosts of New Eden performed well below, like very well below their expectations for those games. Those games did not do well whatsoever. Now, I guess just disclaimer, I don't know if I even have to say it, but I'll say, just for full transparency, they actually did give me a code for both of these games. I think Jasant's is pretty cool. I don't think it's amazing, but I actually really, really liked the music. I really liked kind of the atmosphere. I think it was I don't want to say like rock solid game because that's too much of a pun because you're literally climbing rocks, but I liked that game. I honestly did. I don't think that had a wide appeal. To be honest with you, what they were expecting of that game, I don't know, because, you imagine that game probably sold 100,000, 200,000 copies, probably max. And again, like, I don't know what you expected for a game like that. Banishers, I'm honestly mad. Like, we'll talk about it just in a second, but that gets my blood boiling because Banishers, I truly believe, is a Game of the Year contender. Now, right now, I'd probably put it third. I think right now, Final Fantasy and Astrobot are fighting for my number one. And then number 2/3, whatever you want to say, for me, is Banishers. Truly, like, you want to talk about well-written. You want to talk about, there's all the controversy, male versus female and all these different kind of, culture wars type stuff. You want to talk about a game that's just well-written, that just has a great male character, great female. They're an amazing, amazing duo. And I mean, I honestly don't even know how else to say it. The writing is some of the best you've seen this generation, this decade, whatever you want to say. So that makes me mad because I think Banishers is really good. I think the gameplay is serviceable. I think the game is full. I think it tells an amazing story. I think it's emotional. I think it's deep. I think it's long. We're not talking about like a 3-hour game. This is like a 20-hour type thing. I can't believe it. Like, and I actually can because, you kind of see it coming and you see, okay, it doesn't really seem like a lot of people are playing this game. I don't know what else they could have done. I mean, like, they did market it. I just don't think it appealed to like a wide audience, which is, most times I defend the gamers. I really do. I really come from the consumer point of view. I'm a consumer. I'm talking to you guys. We are not these corporate executives. I really try to look out for us when I make any of these videos on any of my channels. But I will blame us for this game. Only for this game, I will blame us. I really feel like people just, whatever reason, they just slept on. I don't know what, you guys can let me know, if you didn't play Banishers, but this is a game I honestly couldn't recommend enough. I think when you talk about Astrobot and stuff, it's easy. Everybody knows Astrobot's good. Everybody saw that coming. Banishers, it's like, is that why nobody thought it would maybe be anything and then turned out to be a Game of the Year contender in a lot of departments and just nobody cared? But, enough Banishers talk. But basically, those two games did very, very bad. Very bad for them. They are operating not in a good spot when it comes to money. And so when it comes to the future, they talk about, they got 2 projects in the works. I believe they canceled 2 others. They're talking about also expanding to a wider audience. They're refocusing, not Lost Records, because that's obviously coming up just in a couple months, February and March, right? But after that, they got 2 other games. I believe they're also helping other studios on 2 more games. So they're doing 2, they're helping with 2. 2 were canceled, and the 2 that they're working on has been refocused to try to go after a wide audience. I do think that's kind of what you have to do. And, it's tough because, I just said in the beginning of the video, like, I respect what they do. I respect, just the fact that you have a Don't Nod. I know not all their games are masterpieces. I know people have problems with them, but I think having a Don't Nod around is for the better. You know what I mean? Just a company that wants to do these different kinds of games, and they're somewhat bigger scale. They're not, this isn't Ubisoft or EA or Capcom and stuff, but they're also not like a company you've never heard of. You know what I mean? They've done some really good stuff, and now they're branching out. That's the thing that I That's what I actually don't even understand, right? Like, they did Life is Strange 1, right? And Life is Strange is still selling. They mentioned that in the report, that some of their sales, in fact, the majority of their sales is the Life is Strange franchise and Vampire, however you want to say it. Those games are kind of like keeping them afloat, and those are just people buying it, 5-10 years after the games have come out. That's what's keeping them around right now. So, which is also kind of disappointing because they've done other games. But honestly, more recently, they've done a bunch of different I just mentioned too, Jasant is unlike anything that they've ever made. You can debate its quality, but it's different. Like, Jasant is not Tell Me Why. Twin Mirror, like you have Twin Mirror, Tell Me Why, things like that. Those games are pretty similar, but Jasant is really taking in a different direction. Banishers, also, it's an RPG, kinda, not maybe entirely, but they were really trying something different while carrying over the writing quality. I think the writing quality, the writing in general is one of the standouts of Dontnod. It's kind of what you expect, and maybe it's not been there as much in some of these games. It definitely was there in Banishers, right? So I don't know. In terms of the future, I honestly wish them the best. I want them to do good. I hope Lost Records is good, and then I also hope it performs well, right? Like, I don't know if I need it to perform well if it's going to be a terrible game, but I think they can hopefully capture that Life is Strange magic, and that can be a game that can really help them financially. And then, yeah, I don't know. You just have to kind of keep that core of Dontnod with, doing that creative freedom and just telling these different stories and all that stuff, keeping that writing quality high, stuff like that. And you got to try to appeal to a wider audience. Again, from like a Jasant point of view, I think that's true. That was not to a wider audience. You know what I mean? I think Banishers kind of was, though. So I really don't understand that one. But yeah, they need to go after, more people, obviously, because they're having a problem selling. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.